Good evening.
Hey everyone, Actual Dracula here, and welcome to Blood In, Ink Out. And today I'll be doing some sketching on my iPad here, and talking about my goals for 2024. My art goals, YouTube channel goals, what have you. But I will also be commenting on another YouTube video that is relevant to the subject. Now, before I actually get to my future goals for this year, I've got to focus on this month's goals in particular, which I have a particular set of goals going on right now for January, as this month is Spawnuary. And if you guys aren't aware of that, what it is the end of December, Todd McFarlane posted on Instagram about this Spawnuary Spawn challenge, which is an opportunity for artists to submit their artwork with the potential, with the winners having their artwork published as a future cover of a Spawn comic, or rather one of the several Spawn universe comics, as there are basically four chances. They're doing there will be 4 contest winners, and you can enter as many times as you'd like. And how it works is each week there's a different subject. So week 1 was Spawn, week 2 was Gunslinger Spawn, and week 3, which we're currently in, is Scorched, and then week 4 is any Spawn universe villain. So that's what I've been doing so far this month, is focusing on that. I did submit a cover for Spawn, and I did a Gunslinger Spawn piece as well. I am foregoing the Scorched cover. It would be a great opportunity to draw a Redeemer, who's such a really great character design. But I really want to use what time I have in these next 2 weeks to focus on the final cover, Spawn villain. And I think I'm going to be doing Clown, Violator, which is kind of what I'll be doing some sketches for today. It's kind of who I'm sketching out right now, and really just at the moment I don't really have any sort of composition in mind. Right now I'm just kind of getting used to I'm just kind of basically gonna be doing some sketches of Clown and Violator. Now, I think I'll probably end up drawing Violator in his clown form as well as his demonic Violator form, as it is my understanding that he can now appear in both forms at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I heard. I don't know, I haven't read. I believe that is something that came to light in Gunslinger Spawn, which I haven't really read, but yeah, I believe he can be both forms appears both forms at the same time, whereas before it was just one or the other. So I think I'm gonna draw both. And actually, before I go any further, I'll just show you guys, if you didn't see it, I did post them to Instagram, if you want to get a closer look. But I'll show you the submissions I did already. So week 1 was Spawn, and so yeah, there it is. There's Spawn. Now this is the other thing I'm going to figure out for my clown cover, is because this one, and you'll see the next one, the styles are somewhat different. So this was done in a more traditional comic book style, in that I've got line work that I just then colored in after. So I did separate line work. I've actually got that here. And so yeah, it's just basically, you know, like inking. It was all done digitally. I did this all on the in Procreate here, you know, just with the digital brush. Although I didn't use one of the brush pens. For this, I used one of the pencils, Peppermint, right? So, because I like the texture of it, and all I did was I used the pencil tool, and then all I did just to darken those lines was duplicate the layer, and you could even do it again if you want it even darker, more solid. But so that's all I did for that. And yeah, so that's Spawn. And then last week was Gunslinger Spawn. So there's Gunslinger, and this one I approached a little bit differently, in that this is more of a painting. This really is like a digital painting, because I didn't have like separate line work. So this actually would be what I call more of a graphic painting or comic book style painting, which is something I've never really done a lot of, but I know a lot of artists kind of work in this style, particularly comic book artists, though not necessarily. A lot of illustrators do in general. But let's say, you know, in the past, a lot of paintings I've done, if they're more realistic paintings, you know, whether they be in oils or what have you, or even digitally, I wouldn't have these outlines, these hard lines, whereas this, you know, I've got objects and you know, elements of this painting do have there is line work there, there's outlines around it, whereas normally I wouldn't have that, because, you know, things in reality and nature don't have outlines. It just doesn't exist. So but I really like the way it looks, and I've been experimenting with that, so I use that kind of style for this painting, for Gunslinger here. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, with how it turned out. This actually, I can't show you, this isn't the original, not the original file, but I did do, this was all done full color, and then I basically overlaid like a burnt orange over Spawn and the horse to create that dusty old Wild West effect. Yeah, and I think it looks pretty good. What's the word I'm looking for? That tone, sepia or Sierra, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. It gives it that old Wild West feel. Yeah. So yeah, that's Gunslinger. And so now I'll be just doing some sketches here of Violator. Nothing too serious. Again, I'm just kind of playing around right now while making this video. And you know, the most difficult thing about this really is making something that stands out, because there was an absolute flood of submissions for this contest from week 1, and just a lot of really incredible covers from really talented artists, you know, including like industry pros, some industry veterans. So, you know, for me, it's like, what chance do I have? Well, you never know. I have. It's really about. It's not about who you are. It's about you know, what does your cover look like, and does it catch Todd's eye there? My understanding is he's going to be picking the winners, so you know, we'll see what happens. Either way, really great opportunity, and it's really just it's been a lot of fun to draw those Spawn covers. So he's always been one of my favorite characters to draw. I mean, still to this day, easily one of the best costumes ever designed. So goals for 2024, I do have some specific goals set out for myself, and I was just gonna come here and, you know, talk about those, just say what they are, but then I recently saw this video by J Holt, the illustrator, and really cool channel. He is, you know, an illustrator, comic book artist and writer, and he has a really great channel. Definitely go check it out. But he made a video about New Year's resolutions, and more specifically as an artist, and this video is really aimed towards like beginner artists. I think it was even in the title. But I think it could apply really to a lot of people in different situations. Even more experienced artists could get something from this video. And it's not a long video. I recommend you go check it out. It's like under 10 minutes, and I'll try and kind of boil it down without basically stealing all of his content. I'll try and reiterate it in my own words. Basically, he talks about New Year's resolutions as potentially bad or flawed self-help, because, you know, people set up these arbitrary goals. I think he put it as ritualistic arbitrary goals. Like for an artist, say like, oh, I'm going to draw every day, or I've got to get this number of sketches done this week. And one of the key, really the main issue of this is that, you know, that seems like something that can be very helpful for you as an artist, but if it's just doing it for the sake of saying you're doing something, that's not necessarily going to help you in the long run. That's kind of the gist I got from it. And that he's saying humans, really what it comes down to is if you want to improve as an artist, and I guess just grow as a person in general, I would say, you have to change your way of thinking first. Humans change their behavior only by first changing their way of thinking. And one of the key issues here is that if you're setting arbitrary goals for yourself without guidance, is you may not be setting the correct goals, the goals that will help broaden your way of thinking and therefore your behavior. So, you know, teachers and mentors can provide that guidance, and as he puts it, apply pressure to change your way of thinking. And the issue there is, you know, being self-taught, and you're becoming both the teacher and the student, so your attempts to improve or grow may be misguided, as there is no one there to point you in the right direction, nor to explain the reasons why it is, you know, you're doing whatever it is you've decided to invest your time and energy into. And bottom line is that, you know, if you want to become an artist, you have to, if you, I guess, want to take art seriously, potentially as a career, you got to change your way of thinking in order to change your behavior and you know, instill those good habits into your daily routine, your life. And because being an artist is not easy, and you're not going to want to commit yourself to the amount of work required for real growth if you don't yet see the intrinsic value in it. This was another keynote in this video of his, is that finding, you know, if you're gonna change your way of thinking, it's about seeing the kind of intrinsic value in your art and art in general. You know, because if you are, and he says if you already did, you wouldn't be waiting for a new calendar year to take the next big leap. You know, he says don't start the year with a set of specific goals, especially as a beginner, because, you know, you may not know if those are even worthwhile goals, and you'll likely get fed up and discouraged when you fail to meet them. And he says instead, make this year about discovering why art is important, not only to yourself but to, I guess, humanity in general. There's some pretty big ideas here, I think. Experiment, explore, and search for answers, but free of some, I guess, rigid, arbitrary structure that you've created, and in that seeking perhaps find some truth in art that, as he puts it, is more meaningful than your desire to complete tasks, to you know, which I guess makes you feel like you've accomplished something. And I suppose yes, but that may be true, but I guess he's suggesting in the long run, maybe more beneficial to take a step back from that first and really just explore a bit more, experiment, and kind of think about the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. And the desire to become an artist will not motivate you in the way that having discovered some deeper truth will, you know, some conviction will, that will motivate you much more. And that change in how you think about that you don't want to be an artist, you simply are, you know, you don't want to be an artist, you know, you simply are an artist. You know, that will change how you behave as an artist. And anything worthwhile is going to be challenging, and artists face all manner of struggles, you know, in their endeavors as an artist. But having that belief and conviction in yourself and your craft will allow you to endure that suffering. And yeah, so I hope I didn't totally plagiarize his video, but that's basically what he's saying. And like I said, it's under 10 minutes. I highly recommend you go watch it. And everything in this that he says, I can attest to, as I changed my way of thinking about art. Though that may be overstating it, it's more likely I'm still in that process of transformation, if you will, as you know, I still have to fight with myself at times to really focus, can become easily distracted, but that's something I continually work on. However, I have created more art in the past 2 years than I had in the previous 10, and that was due to a big shift in my thinking and behavior when it came to being an artist. And I decided to actually be one, because I did see the value in it. I have created more art in the past 2 years than I have in the 10 previous. And that was due to a big shift in my thinking and behavior when it came to being an artist, in that I decided to actually be one. and to actually make art, because I did see the value in it. And so this, I do think this is good advice that Jordan gives in this video. You know, perhaps instead of making lists, just make some art. Don't think about it too hard. And one last note is that in the mention of being a self-taught artist versus having teachers or a mentor, I think that this video applies to either, but it seems to me more, you know, aimed more towards the beginner self-taught artist, especially if you're considering going to art school. Maybe you're not sure, maybe take a year to really experiment and explore like he recommends, and I have no doubt that will help in making a decision like that. Decisions about your future, that's the thing. Make all the decisions you want about your future, but the future may have other plans for you, so you know, act accordingly, go with the flow. Now, all that being said, I'm going to throw all that advice out the window, as I do have some New Year's goals for myself. I have some long-term goals, things I would like to achieve over the next couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it may be. And so for this year, I'm planning on following a schedule of sorts, but one that will remain flexible. I can't foresee what's going to happen 3, 6, 9 months from now. I don't know what opportunities or setbacks may arise. So in the meantime, anyhow, I intend to follow a plan which is really just to make a certain number of finished pieces of artwork per month. And it's been a good start so far with the Spawn pieces, but from once those are done, and I'm not gonna bother drawing clown anymore. I want to I'm gonna try and draw Violator, that Violator demon. Oh, first let me draw this. I gotta look up his face paint. I'm just gonna put the face paint on him because why not? I actually did a very similar sketch earlier that turned out much better than this one. I was starting to record this video, but then I made some changes to what I was going to say, and well, you know what? I'll show you guys. The other one is better, but first I have to do this because I want to. Let's see here. Yeah, basically he's got just this face paint that goes all around. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so like I said, I'm just taking a stroll here. I'm kind of somewhat distracted by what I was trying to say, but it was worth it anyhow. Here's the sketch I did earlier, which was much better, I think. Anyhow, still let's go to this one, because this is the one I'm ultimately happier with, and whoops. Let's draw the Demon Violator. Right over here. So, where was I? Yes. The goals. Right, as I said, I'm throwing his advice out the window. No, still great advice, and still, I think, something that every artist should really continue to do. And I think most do. I mean, anyhow, I think that's part of changing your kind of thoughts and behavior, is as that comes naturally, and I guess your art habits changes, you also just kind of naturally will end up exploring more things and just learning more about yourself as an artist in general. Comes with the territory. But that being said, I think, because I do have some experience, I'm not really a beginner, and like I said, I've already, I would say, changed a lot about the way I think and work as an artist, that for me, having specific goals is going to definitely be beneficial. So, first of all, I have a stack of blank comic books that I would like to get through. Bear with me now. I need to find a reference for Violator, because honestly, he's just always been a weird looking character. It's funny, when I was younger, I used to draw very similar looking creatures all the time. And now I don't remember how to do it. Right, so I got a bunch of blank sketch covers I'd like to work through. So my one of my goals, my 2024 kind of plan step one is I want to do at least one blank sketch cover a month. Okay, and then I would like to do at least one, I would call it a full size, and by that I mean something like 11 by 17, or at least a 10 by 14, something like that. A full size, fully finished piece, whether that be done traditionally or digitally. And then at least 3 smaller finished, fully finished pieces. Again, whether that be traditionally or digitally, probably a mix of both. I feel like his teeth start way up here, and I'll just do that really. I'm gonna black all that in, actually. Right, so that's it basically. One blank sketch cover, one fully finished, call it large, piece of artwork, and then at least 3 smaller pieces. And that's the plan. I'm going to try and stick to that. As my broader goal this year is to produce like a cohesive body of work, to create pieces for a portfolio or portfolios, multiple, because not everything will necessarily be in the same style or of the same subject matter. So but the point is, you know, to make pieces that are, for me, I think, at a high enough standard to hopefully land me some gainful employment as an artist in whatever form that may take. And when it comes to that, I'm not really pursuing, you know, any one avenue in particular. Just really as an illustrator. You know, I'm willing to work in any number of fields or genres, however you want to put it. Though comic books are my first love, and that's really, really what I draw a lot of these days, and will continue to do so. But I don't want to. That's another thing I want to kind of expand on this year, is to work on some with those illustrations. Also leave room for maybe stuff that isn't necessarily comic book related. Maybe just kind of expand my horizons a little bit. At the very least, not superhero related, we'll say. Maybe still like comic book style art, which is what I'm really trying to improve. Things like inking, penciling as well, inking, all that. I really want to work on traditional inking this year, because I haven't done much of that, and what I have done recently, I've been really enjoying doing. It is incredibly difficult. It's not easy to. It's so easy to overdo it with inking. So easy. So that's really about trying to find that balance. J Holt actually has some great videos on that, where he basically says straight up, just cross-hatching, just don't do it. And I know exactly the point he's trying to make is, especially if you're just starting out, cross-hatching, it's really difficult to get it right. I still make the attempt, for good or ill. But yeah, inking is something definitely want to work on, and just more digital painting and stuff like I did with the Gunslinger. So maybe I'll have his arm go up. And I guess in keeping with the whole theme I've been discussing with that video, these goals are flexible. I work full-time at a different job, not art related, so this is something that I have to pursue and work at whenever I can put in those hours. And yeah, it is a struggle. Like I said, I have to fight with myself when I don't necessarily feel like drawing, and try as I might, avoid distraction, and all that is hard. But I do it because of what I was just talking about, because of what Jordan was trying to convey in his video, is that I know the truth of this game. I see the value in making art and what it means to be an artist, and so I will do this no matter what. I don't have to wait for a New Year's resolution to see it through. Now the gym, that's another thing. I'll get back to the gym soon. One day soon, I swear. It's only January. I've got lots of time for that. Anyhow, I think that just about wraps up what I wanted to say in this video. And Yeah, I don't know about his hand here, guys. Yeah, I really just kind of wanted to talk about that video. I thought it was really great. Thought it was some good advice. It was interesting. Made me think for sure. And just do, you know, just some quick sketches. Get Violator kind of in my head as I get ready to figure out what my next Spawn cover is going to be. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Can I? Yeah, you know these are supposed to be his teeth, right? I'm not really using the right brush for that. That's okay. Should have something pointier. You get the idea. It's just a sketch. No one will ever see this, except you guys that are watching this video. Alright. So, I think that will do it. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe and all that if you are so inclined. If not, take a moment, ask yourself why not? Why shouldn't I subscribe? And, you know, maybe then you'll change your behavior. Also, be sure to check out J Holt Illustrator here on YouTube. I'll put the link to his channel below. It's one of my new favorite channels, guys. Very informative, really smart guy. He takes you through his creative process making comics. Just really great stuff. And I think that'll do it. Thanks again. See you next time.